It's a wonderful society. We've brought our stand here, I think, for the first time for some years. It was founded by Dr. George King back in 1955. The name Aetherius comes from the first of the cosmic masters that he channeled. He kept channeling for over 40 years, and he's brought through some 600 or more messages, all of which we have taped. So there's some incredible information which is very pertinent to the modern day. We're divided into three bits. One is the ecclesiastical side, because we have bishops and priests and so on, and we have services every Sunday. We give healing, we give absent healing on Mondays, and on Tuesdays we give hands-on healing. All of these things were taught to us by Dr. King. He was a Western master of yoga, the most accomplished and most important medium that the world has ever seen. We're trying to spread the messages from the Master Aetherius, the Master Jesus, as we call him, and all the other cosmic masters. We do a lot of what I might call missions, and the missions are really fascinating. There's such a long story to tell about how Dr. King first was contacted, because he was in his little flat in Maida Vale, washing up the dishes one afternoon, and a loud voice in his flat said, "Prepare yourself, you're to become the voice of interplanetary parliament." Through the locked door of his flat, a yogi from India walked. Very physical, the floorboards creaked, the chair dipped as he sat down, and he gave him some advanced yogic practices so that he was enabled to go into what is called samadhi, which is a highly advanced yogic trance. And when he was in that position, all these masters used his voice box, and this is what we have taped. This is quite difficult for some people to accept. The Master Jesus came through. He gave us a wonderful book through Dr. King over 12 weekends, which we call the 12 Blessings. The 12 Blessings is really a continuation of the Sermon on the Mount, and it's given to modern man in the cosmic age, when we're starting to explore space and get out of this earth. The early messages were back in the 1950s, when any talk of UFOs and extraterrestrials got complete mockery. The messages really then were, whatever religion you are, be the best you can, the best Buddhist, the best Christian, the best Jew, the best Muslim. Go back to the original teachings of all the great masters, whether it was Buddha or Sri Krishna or Jesus or Lao Tzu, whoever it was, go back to their teachings. We're probably the first people to realize that were the astronauts, when they looked down on the Earth and they saw one organization, one race, no boundaries, no color. We need to learn that. The next messages were, for heaven's sake, stop mucking about with atomics. You don't understand what you're doing. We can measure 7 octaves of radiation. You can only measure 1. You're wrecking the Mother Earth, who incidentally is a highly advanced spiritual being. You're actually polluting your atmosphere, and some of that is getting through into the solar system and damaging our parts of the solar system, so stop it. The third message was, prepare for the coming of the next master. And this means that mankind has got to change its ways. We've got to live by the laws of karma. Jesus expressed it, as you sow, so shall you reap. Buddha said action and reaction are opposite and equal. The same messages. You and I would say what goes around comes around. Now, if that was taught in schools today, maybe the world would be a different place. Now, I want to move on to 2 very important things. One of the things that we've learnt through Dr. King, and we work with this now regularly, is that 4 times a year an incredible satellite comes, and this is an extraordinary satellite. It's full of equipment, it's full of batteries of computers. They know everything about everybody on Earth. They've got some wonderful crystals in there, and this takes the energy from the sun through a beautiful crystal roof. This is manipulated through crystals within this spacecraft, and they are then sent down to us on the Earth for us to use. The last thing I really want to focus on is the 19 holy mountains of the world. And Dr. King was told to go to a place in Devon, and he did so, not to have any metal on his body, and he would be contacted. And he was contacted by one of these extraterrestrial beings, and he was directed to go up to a hill, which we call Holston, or is called Holston Down. And we go there every year on the 23rd of July, which is the anniversary. It was 50 years ago last year. And we have another pilgrimage to a place called Le Nid d'Aigle. That's in France, which is the 50th anniversary of its climb, because this took him a long time. 19 holy mountains were charged. The incredible thing is that 9 of these are in the UK. The nearest one to here is Kinderscout in Derbyshire. We're very close to that. If we go up onto a holy mountain and we pray like this using the 12 blessings, which we're told is the most powerful form of prayer we can use today, and satellite number 3 is in orbit, and it will be on the 23rd of July this year, and anyone performing any spiritual action, whether they believe in God or not, if they're doing good for their fellow men, that is enhanced 3,000 times. So that's an incredible tool for mankind to use. We can work miracles, and we invite anybody to join us.